Hi, welcome everybody. Today, there's going to be quite a lot of stuff. I know it's not even mid of the month yet, but we will be going through some of what arrived in April, because there's a lot of stuff that I think want to cover, including some of the other adjacent stuff. So I hope this is going to be an interesting video for most people. It might be a bit longer. As you can see, there's a lot of expansion and everything here, as you can see. Some big name as well. Okay, so let's go through some of the smaller stuff here first. So I'm not sure if I have shown you this before, but this is two sets of custom dice, which actually I have bought online. So basically, they comes in like two important. I would say that they're quite distinct in a way that look at this first set. This first set comes with a few colors, and I like dice with all the special marking on the side, at the corners, and everything. So this is really like very beautifully created. So this comes in 5 colors. The other set of dice is also very unique. This comes with also sides decorations. Comes with I think also 5 colors, and they're pretty solid dice. So just want to show off some of the dice. I'm not sure if this dice actually is part of a Kickstarter campaign or certain games, but because they really looks good, so I didn't really think a lot when I decided to buy it, because dice is a part of board game. It's kind of like adjacent stuff, so yeah. So I don't mind having good dice, especially in but unfortunately this doesn't come with the D20, D10, D4, so on. So these are all like standard 6-sided dice, but it does have 5 colors, so that gives you plenty of choices to use in games like Gunshot Clever and stuff like that. Good replacement dice. I think there's especially especially this one has a kind of like a Cthulhu feel to it. This one's a bit more sci-fi. Maybe it's good for all those cyberpunk stuff. So that's kind of like, so I kind of like scripted this because I wanted to show you some things related to dice. I really show you the dice at the start. So the next thing I want to show you, I hope this has a better light, is this dice tower, which is actually 3D printed. So I got someone to actually print this for me. Cost like a couple of 10 over USD or so on. So this is likely based on the Warhammer 40,000, and this looks like one of those patron saints. Maybe the Sisters of Battle, I guess. All the skulls, the details of the cathedral, the Imperium structures and every stuff, and they're even nice enough that all this top part which is supposed to go into this corner, they actually left it for you to paste so that they don't get destroyed during the delivery. And this is the dice tower, so we are going to like just test it with the dice, and here comes the dice. So it works pretty well. I mean, unfortunately, this is not going to like put, I don't think you can go 6 dices in one shot. Maybe you have to do like 2 by 2 or 1 by 1 or so on. But for $10, I think this is like fantastic. What I intend to do is that I'm probably not a very good painter for miniatures. Although this is like pretty good acrylic standards, I will probably wait. Maybe the spikes is supposed to be here, not on the top. Oh, my mistake. I didn't notice the holes here. They're likely going to go on these places. But anyway, thoughtful of them to printed them separately. So that is 2 of the adjacent stuff. I'm going to go through another one before we go into the board game. So this is another adjacent stuff I recently bought. This is the Scythe meta coins. So as you can see, in terms of Scythe, I am kind of like really into it. I have played this, in fact, even solo. It is really a fantastic game, and really lives to the expectation. I thought, like it's a real overrated. It's just another Stone Myers game. But that being said, I tried 2 of the Stone Myers games recently, Wingspan and Scythe, and I love them both a lot. So this is the art. I have gotten all the the realistic tokens for Scythe. I will show them when I'm doing the whole Scythe review, or maybe storage, whatever. But this is the other thing that you can actually buy, and I think it's from the Kickstarter as well. So you actually get the meta coins, which is actually pretty nice. If you are familiar with Scythe, you know that I think the $1 coin has a hole in it, pretty much looking like those Chinese coins. Can you see the hole here? Yeah. So it comes in like different colors as well. And I think they're pretty solid build, so I haven't opened it yet. I intend to put this into the into the big box where everything belongs together. So there we have 3 adjacents. Let's try to clear some of the bigger stuff here because I really have a lot of stuff. So the first one I'm going to talk about. Okay, so by the way, I also recently found out of this thing. I'm not sure I've shown it before, but it's a kind of a belt that is used to keep board games together. And I don't know who print this, but it's like from China, so I don't think they really even care what icon they have there. But anyway, it comes in 2 sizes. One of them is slightly bigger, which is this one. The other one is smaller, which actually maybe is for this size of games or smaller, or maybe even this type of sizes of games. And it comes with either the cross shape or the straight, where you only have like one bar across. But as long as it holds the game together, and this game is actually the City of Iron. It's also one of another Red Ravens game. City of Iron is a strategy game where you can like play with 2 players as you try to control the market, gain dominance and everything. And there's of course monsters. There's fractions, asymmetric fractions and everything. And then there's a big player map, and then you get to like visit different locations. Gain locations, and locations allows you to like build different things. You can like alter and everything. And basically that's how the game runs, and it's a very challenging game for 2 player onwards. But that I'm really into Ryan Lockett's game recently, and this is like one of his stuff that he designed, and really like kudos to it. Even though this is like a bit underrated. Not many people know about it, but City of Iron is one of them that I think that really shines with all his arts and design. And there's also a solo version that's not official, but good enough. So in this box, the seller I bought from is nice enough that he has also bought the I think the engineers and something, I can't remember the name, but there was one expansion for this, and this is like the first edition. So you probably cannot get this anymore. You will have to get a second edition, but second edition doesn't come with all the expansion component. They're still waiting for expansion for second edition, which may or may not come anytime soon. So I went ahead and get the lights out and everything, because I'll have to be doing this standing because I think there's way too much stuff. Anyway, this is another game. As you can see, Empire of the Void, 2, in case not very obvious. The design is probably very unique, as you can see, but this is also another Red Ravens game, which is one of my favorite recently nowadays. And this is a very heavy. I mean, in terms of physical weight. And look at the board. The board is really very sci-fi. Planets. You have different fractions. The artwork is really very distinct. As you can see, this is Ryan Lockett's his signature kind of artwork, and it does come with some miniatures. I would say the miniatures is pretty good. It's very unique with different starships. But it doesn't need to be Simon Fantastic or Awaken Ram Fantastic for the games to really play well. And most of his games is actually pretty good. Empire of the Void 2 is one of the ones that actually I think has a great improvement over the Empire of the Void Part 1. Which actually you probably don't need to get Part 1 because it's not a sequel, it's just kind of like the second edition of the game. And sci-fi with Ryan Lockett is something that I have not tried. This will be my first time. I hope I like it. It's not too cheap, it's not too expensive. The price is reasonable for this. Okay, it all depends on what you mean by reasonable, but since I saw it on Amazon, I thought I just grabbed it. And then we have it, that's the second one. So the next one I'm going to talk about is also 2 games. These 2 games are both connected, and they are also sci-fi based. So these 2, I guess, is no stranger to a lot of people. This is Dune Imperium, The Rise of It. It's designed by Paul Denon. This is actually published by Dire Wolf Games. And this is the expansion. Of course, it's also based on the movie from Legendary, giving Dune like kind of reboot in the recent years. So it's about controlling spies, universe. The artworks is actually pretty good. As you can see, it's actually pretty present. And the most interesting about this game is that actually it launched at the same time with the Lost Ruin of Anarch. Plays quite same. So one of them is in space. The other one is actually more in the Indiana Jones exploring the jungle kind of thing. And coincidentally, both of them also came out with an expansion which roughly launched about the same time. So we have a Rise of It from Dune Imperium, as well as the original game Dune Imperium, which is I have actually like avoided this game because I thought Lost Ruin of Anarch is one for me, but I thought both games are like among the like maybe top 50 in BG. I'll give it a shot, and a lot of people sing praises for this game. I will find out more if I know both of these. I'll probably just end up keeping one of them, to be honest. So we will come down to another smaller games. These two games are also pretty underrated. I think also very hard to find recently. Namely, the first one is the tournament at Camelot. This is funded by Wish Kids. Okay, actually by Wish Kids, I don't think it's hard to find. Maybe it's just not widely distributed. So as you can see, this is based on the King Arthur's Knights on the Round Table legends. But it's actually kind of like a deduction game with certain skills that you can modify your abilities, and you play around with having tournaments and joust against each other, and then trying to score and win. So the two renditions of it, both of them can be used together. They can be mixed together. But it seems like also they are standalone. As you can see, it says a standalone companion game. This is the tournament at Avalon. That is the tournament at Camelot. So both of them are like in the same series. And actually, a lot of people say that this is actually a very good game, despite the artwork is not phenomenal. But I'm actually a big fan of like King Arthur's and Knights of the Round Table. All this stuff is really fantastic stuff to me, and I don't mind trying out the team. I actually, if you've seen my video before, you know that I bought a lot of games based on the King Arthur and Knights of the Round Table. So I guess that's something that like that kind of stuff I dig, and like I'll go for it. Despite that, I'll just give you a shot, even though like might not be the actual right thing for me. Of course, another one of this movie converted. We have this for Funko Games. Funko Games has been lucky in my region. Funko Games has actually been publishing a pretty affordable and economic range kind of games. And Fast and Furious is Highway Heist is kind of like only about I would say it's 10-ish, under 15 USD. So this, imagine under 15 USD for this. I would expect maybe in Walmart or in US. You will probably get the same stuff, and we have 3 models. Although the models are not like phenomenal, no, they're far from it, of course. This looks like toys you will actually get with all those World War II miniatures and stuff. But there's this heist truck, chopper and stuff, and this is kind of like the racing games that you see in the movie The Fast and Furious. I'm a big Yep, like I said, just like in the movie The Fast and Furious, I'm a big fan of the franchise. Despite it getting more and more ridiculous, like going to space and everything. But big fan of Vin Diesel, and I really like how dedicated he's going into some of his work, despite that it's not so mainstream, like Riddick and everything. Okay, but anyway, that's side chatter. Board game wise, the teams is okay. I will give it a shot, and I think it may or may not work because Funko Games has been like making IP games and bringing games based on IP, but this is no-brainer to buy because, like I said, it's only like 10, 15 USD. And if it doesn't work, what I could do is I would just give it away as a gift, Okay, not that I'm giving away bad games, but sometimes games just doesn't work for me, but it may work for other people. Next we have here is actually the Machinations Through Time. This is a standalone scenario pack for Arkham Horror, the card game. As you can see, this format, with the big box, this is like the bigger than the normal the Mythos pack. Mythos pack usually is like only half the size, but this is like you can see that they're split into 2 decks here. And this has not been out for quite a while, and recently they just had this. I think they have this for the Arkham Knight or some it's some kind of like event where actually they make this special scenario, which is a one-off. Um, I really like the mythos. I really like the this whole living card game. In fact, Arkham Horror, the living card game, is kind of like the game that has brought me back into serious board gaming. Maybe that's another story some other time. But basically there was one time I had a staycation, and I played Arkham Horror, the living card game, and the next thing you know that I'm starting my new collection of board games, and I totally went away from video game and stuff. So I'm not sure how many of you has been on this journey, but that's basically how it had been for me. And so this is really something that I am into. I guess I'll continue collecting and playing this. Although I suspect at some point in time I will probably finish all the different cycles and get rid of the game. But it really has a lot of fond memories, and the stories are very, very deep. I think the story is one of the things that's really into, and it works for me. So we have another one, which is Arkham Horror. This is not the card game, this is the board game, and this is like the third edition of the board game, which a lot of people either like or dislike. But this is like the Secret of the Order expansion, and this has been like I think the third expansion. I think if I'm not wrong. This is a small box expansion, so I'm not sure how much material they are, but I think there will be more boards. There will also be like more investigators and stuff. So this requires the base game, obviously. Also, so there are 4 investigators, 3 scenario, and 5 mechanics. So with cards and every stuff. So this is pretty typical of the not really living card game, but from Fantasy Flight games. FFG does a lot of this Arkham Horror stuff, and I hope that they continue on this line, because I like this a lot more than the Legend of Five Rings, and I'm not sure if they're still doing the Lord of the Rings. I think they also stopped Lord of the Rings. So anyway, this expansion actually I bought a long time ago. I didn't get it shipped because I was waiting for on the whole, so that I get everything in one shot, so that so this looks like I don't know, some monsters. This looks, I really don't know how to even describe it. A lot of tooth, there's tongue, red eyes. I guess that's the best I could do. And we have another expansion here again. This expansion is for the world of Smog. I think it's Rise of Moloch. And this is like the Mekasylum. I hope I pronounced it correctly. Anyway, this is actually, I think, one of the Simon's very, very old game, very, very hard to hunt down. And the artwork, and this is a little bit Cthulhu based, but with guys in steampunk fighting the Cthulhu monsters. Cthulhu-ish kind of monsters, and there are miniatures, obviously, because this is from Simon, right? Have you seen the miniatures? I think I paid a little bit more for this because this is still limited, very, very limited, and it's like I think it's very, very hard to hunt down for it. I'm not even sure whether you can still get it or not, but I'm kind of like collecting the World of Smog because I really like the team, I like the game. So there's also some kind of like solo variants, I think, that's been published by some other people. So we can actually just try it out, see if that's really the thing for me. And yet we have another expansion. This is Sleeping Gods. This is the dungeons for Sleeping Gods. So Sleeping Gods is also another game by Ryan Lockett, and I have already gotten the main game plus I think Heights of Ruins or something like that. That was the first expansion. This is the second expansion. I wouldn't say it was second expansion, but because all of this actually came with the Kickstarter, and I missed the Kickstarter. I'm not going to miss the Kickstarter for the Sleeping Gods. The one that's coming up, the Skies of something. I don't know. I always cannot remember. So anyway, this one comes with maps for the dungeons, and I think there's a little bit of stories and everything. So this is like a good addition to the game, expanding more stuff. So it's also, as you can see, this is also another one of those with a very, very strong theme and story, and this is really the kind of thing that I did. So as you can see that I'm very into this type of games, and this is one of them. And the last on this list is actually this game called Journey. So Journey actually is just like it's a short form for Journey to the West. If you're familiar with that literature, it's old Chinese literature book, I guess, in a way, but it's a mythology, and it's like so. This is published by H. Merrill Production. Is probably not very, very well known. I'm not sure how many games they publish, but this is, as you can see, this is like the iconic, characters with like Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, his monk teacher, Pixie, and the guy with the big awesome weapons. And this game comes with miniatures, so there are some miniatures in this game. From my understanding, this was a Kickstarter, and the Kickstarter version actually did include a lot more miniatures and and all this. But we have the like 4 main characters here, and this contains most of the basic stuff that you need for the game. The reason I got this was this was on sale. Okay, so it was on sale on miniature market for $22 US, and I can't see the reason why I'm not getting this. It has a pretty high rating on BGG. I think it's about 6.8 if I'm not wrong, or maybe 7-ish. But anyway, a lot of people have been like asking why there hasn't been some decent game based on Journey to the West, because it's like so easy to create a base, and there's so many expansions you can create. But I guess they didn't really like create a lot of expansions in this game. But look at this box. Compare it to my hand, you can tell that there's lots of material in it. It's definitely more than what $22 will be able to buy you. Like $22 is now basically the price of the Fast and Furious thing you just seen earlier in this video. But anyway, so this is a game I hope I won't regret. But if it's really good, I might hunt down the full version with all the miniatures. But of course, I'm not really a miniature guy. I'm a miniature guy, but I always prefer colorful standees. And grey miniatures is something that good to have, but I'm not going to like pay a tons of money for it. I mean, not normally though, but although during my track record, you've seen back Lord Simon stuff. Okay, but that's another story. But anyway, so recently I also have been picking up some of my old games, namely Dominion. So Dominion, I just realized that there's actually a way to play Dominion solo. There's this Evil Witch expansion, which actually is part of the solo gaming competition, and someone has submitted it, and I tried it out. It works pretty well for solo play, and it's very, very fast and quite enjoyable. So bringing out some of my Dominion's collection for clearing the dust and bring back old memories. Dominions is one of my first deck builder. It's I don't know if you consider the Arkham Horror, the living card game, as a deck builder, but if it's around the same time that I started Dominion, and I really have a lot of fun time playing it. Almost every night, for that 1 month that I was staying over, and it brings back a lot of good memories. Also, by the way, the Dominion actually, I just realized that they actually had an app for both Steam as well as Google Play. I think they probably have it for Apple as well, iOS. But it's like on early access, and it's actually currently free. You get to get the base game, the Nocturne, as well as Copernicus thing, which is this Cornucopia, which sorry, it's mispronounced. Cornucopia, expansion. So you get 3 of them to play with in the early access version of the game, which actually is pretty not bad, except then the AI is kind of I won't call it stupid. The AI is actually pretty strong, but the AI is very aggressive. It's like they always keep getting the militia, witches, or this. It got really irritated. Every turn they only having 3 cards and stuff like that. But I think that can be. I hope they will tweak it, because I don't really like the AI. But maybe playing against other players is probably more fun, and yeah. And I was saying that probably the game is more enjoyable if you like playing with other players and so on. So anyway, in case you're very, very curious, I have the Dominion big box, which contain Alchemy, Prosperity, and Dominion in one big box. This was like I think one of the earliest big box release. As you can see, I really almost owned this for 10 years. So this is like kind of a collection for me. I know that there's a second edition. I actually bought the upgrade pack and upgraded this to the second edition with the cards inside, as well as the one for Intrigue as well. Waiting for the Scythe second edition to launch this year, and maybe I'll upgrade it. I have just ordered Allies as well, which is actually the latest one. Home Vessel has given very, very high rating for that. And I hope he's right. In fact, most of the time he's right, although he doesn't quite align with every single aspect of my gaming preference, but most of the stuff he said I agree, and most of the game he hate, I hate. So there we have it. So I think this is hopefully short. I haven't combined all the videos together, because I've been cutting this into various segments, coffee break in between every stuff. But I hope you have enjoyed this whole series of me showing all the games I get. from April onwards, I hope I will be able to say that I will stop buying so much games. I will try to play more of my games. So before I end, I really want to throw in a surprise for you guys, and I'm going to clear the table, and then I'm going to bring in a box of a special game which actually just arrived. Can you guess what it is? Just give you a hint. It paints a good picture. It's a Kickstarter. So we'll be back. Here I am. To be honest, due to my non-scripting features of making all my videos and everything, there are times that I kind of missed out some of the stuff, but not to worry. I almost missed this, but I didn't. So this is something that I'm not sure if you've heard of it. I'll bring both of them out. This is a very very special game that is actually it makes use of the sleeve as well as it's kind of like the sleeve overlay over cards, and basically painting, and this is like canvas. So canvas very highly rated games. It has very special components where you actually can have overlays. As you can see, there are 3 different overlays here with shape, CD, and everything, where you can put into the card. It paints different pictures. Give you different scoring with the overlays. So I think this picture says 1,000 words, and it's like it's canvas. So this is a good way to introduce the game, a unique way to play this with all the different type of sleeve overlay on top of it, gaining you different powers. It's very very unique in the sense that I don't think anybody could be able to even create this game bootleg or anything at a reasonable cost. So this is the only chance you get it. And what more is that I actually did not find this game second hand being sold. Not reasonable price anyway. So so the only way to get it is really through the Kickstarter. But fortunate for me, I found that there was a way to late pledge this when they launched the expansion. The expansion is Canvas Reflections, and as you can see, beautiful artwork and everything. And now they have a board and everything. And when they launched this, I actually went into the Kickstarter and I got both of them at the same price at the Kickstarter, which is like, whew, lucky I didn't have to pay a lot more. But of course, I paid a little bit for shipping, which actually is pretty reasonable. And like I said, I don't really trust BGG's rating, but I do take that the Seal of Excellence from Dice Tower a very, very high, in high regards, that I kind of think that it's not easy to get it. And if it gets it, it does say something about the game. There's also best tabletop games from the Play Test Party, which actually is fantastic. By the way, this is published by R2I Games. You can check their website. I'm not sure what else they publish. I think they did have one or at least one more other games which I didn't get. So this is the only one I have. So here we have Canvas. There's beautiful artwork. It's like Kickstarter edition. I'm not sure what's included even. I hope they do include, there's actually this wooden canvas stands, for the cards, which I saw some people having it. I'm not sure whether it's like, XC or something like that. But if it doesn't come with it, I'll be gladly get hold of that. And the box doesn't really have a lot of things, it's just a big piece of artwork. It's a very, very unique way to design the box and everything. And I think picture says 1,000 words, like I say. And but this is most important. They actually listed all this is like 1 to 5 players, so solo is playable. It's only about 30 minutes, and I think games with pictures are very very easy. Talking about this, there's also another game that's actually on my radar. That's actually the Dixit Stella, which actually Dixit, I actually have all the expansion. Yeah, really, I have all of them. And but unfortunately the game is only for like 3 or more players, and even at 3 players is not really that fun. So I didn't really get to table it a lot, although during the early days of wargaming, I did manage to play it a lot. They recently just came out with another version called Dixit Stella, which is kind of a different gameplay, where you have more of guessing which card each other like more and stuff like that. Which actually I think is a new take to the game. Plus, I think you can use the old Dixit cards and everything. So that is really fantastic. So of course I don't have the game. But I'll put a link to the game below if you're interested. I think some of you guys has played Dixit with me before. In some of this party and stuff. So I hope you still have some memory of it. But anyways, enough of rambling today. I hope this video didn't end up too long. I'm going to end this video here. If you'd like to see more of my games coming each month, or which I already tried to say that I'll try to reduce it from April onwards. But I don't think I can help having a few games coming here and there because of my pre-order Kickstarter subscription and stuff like that. And okay, not really Kickstarter subscription, as you know, I back Kickstarter, they are bound to arrive. And actually, I think 2 of them are on the horizon already. So hopefully they'll arrive soon. And anyway, so I hope that we'll see you again soon. If you want to see more of it, you can subscribe. But please at least like this video before you leave, because I think that helps push the video up, and then more people can see the games that I try to introduce to everybody. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.